Hello and welcome back to the channel. Stupid here, and today I am profiling my wife's deck using her playmat, her sleeves, and her cards. This is a deck that we built and inspired by one of our friends over on Twitter and a few other people. But today we're looking at Leafeon paired up with Spidops EX. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what your favorite Pokemon is in this video. I'll pick one random winner for a code card. Hey, let me know what you like. Let me know what your favorites are. Smash that thumbs up button and all that nonsense. But yeah, let's just dive right in. Today, like I said, Leafeon Spidops. We are playing a 3-2-1-ish line. We'll start with the Leafeon V. We're playing 3 copies, 200 HP here with Greening Cells, the ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a grass energy attached to one of your Pokemon and then shuffle your deck. If you use this ability, then your turn ends. And you have the attack Leaf Blade for a grass and 2 colorless. It does 90 plus 60 if you flip a coin and it's heads. So big 150 damage, 1 retreat, weak to fire, unfortunately. So yeah, we're playing 3 copies of these. She's got 2 of the alts in her collection, so we take those, right? Then we've got 1 copy of the V-Star here, 260 HP. You have Leaf Guard and Ivy Stars, the V-Star power, which is an ability. Doesn't happen too often that you have an ability on your V-Stars, other than like Goodra and Arceus, that people are really playing actively. But you have Leaf Guard for 2 grass and a color, 180, and then during your next turn, it takes 30 less from attacks. And then you have the ability Ivy Star, which is basically just boss's orders for your V-Star power. Then we've got 2 copies of the VMAX, 310 HP, Grass Knot and Max Leaf. Grass Knot is the main attack you're most likely going to use in this deck, paired up with Spidops, which we'll get to in a second. For 1 grass and a color that is 60 times the amount of energy in their opponent's retreat cost for their active Pokemon, and then Max Leaf does 170 and heals 30 for 2 grass and a colorless. So Leafeon is definitely your main attacker, and your support Pokemon is a 4-4 line of Spidops EX. For Tarantula, we're playing 2 different ones, mostly because artworks, really. We only have 2 of these. Beautiful one. So in an optimal world, this deck gets bodied by Sablezard. The higher HP Tarantulas are going to definitely be a little bit of a better call. But I mean, why not play the whole art piece here where they make this beautiful artwork together? This one's got 40 HP, and you've got String Shot for a grass and a colors, 20 damage with coin of heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. And this one has 60 HP. And surprise attack for 1 grass, it does 30 damage. Flip a coin of tails, it does nothing. And then they both have this has a retreat cost of 2, this has a retreat cost of 1. So give or take on the HP on the Tarantulas. But of course, why not play fancy artwork when you can play fancy artwork? And in this case, we're also playing 4 Spidops here. The main reason why we're playing it is the ability Trap Territory. Your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost is now 1 more. So you get somehow a couple of these in play. That's the retreat cost. Leafeon comes in and does 60 times the amount of retreat cost. Feels pretty good. And then this also has the attack Wire Hang. It is 90 plus 30 more for each colorless in their retreat cost. So, I think Leafeon is the better attacker in general. And Spidops is the support. So we're playing that 4-4 line to get all those trap territories stacked up. Continuing on with the Pokemon, of course, we have the Drapion V. To tell Mew to go back to its home. We've got a copy of Lumineon for grabbing a supporter. And then we've got a 2-2 Bidoof and Bibarel line. We're playing the Carefree Continents Bidoof to protect itself from bench damage. And just 2 copies of Industrious Incisors Bibarel to draw our hands back up to 5 as we play through all the Pokemon available. Alright, moving along into the item cards. Rocking 4 copies of Nest Bolster deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. The only Pokemon that we have that we don't want to do that with is Lumineon, so we can use Luminous Signs. You have to play it from your hand to the bench. We have 4 copies of Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, search your deck for a Pokemon. This is definitely going to be your primary Lumineon grabber. And we've got 3 copies of Battle VIP Pass. If it's your first turn, you can grab 2 basic Pokemon from your deck and put them onto your bench. This thing is started to blow up in value a little bit again. A lot of decks are really starting to play anywhere between 2 to 4 copies of Battle Pass, just because without Quick Ball, we just need more speed getting there. Continuing on, we've got 2 copies of Switch for getting in and out of the active spot, and then we also have Lost Vacuum as the last item card. You can put a card from your hand into the Lost Zone to send a tool card or a stadium in play to the Lost Zone. In terms of tool cards, we are playing 3. We are playing a single copy of Defiance Band. If you are behind on prizes, your attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. We've got the obvious Forest Sealstone for the V-Star power in case you don't want to use the Leafeon V-Star. This lets you search for any card in your deck. And we've got the Snow Leaf badge, which can only be attached to a Leafeon V. So Leafeon VMAX V-Star, all count. If it's attached, it has no retreat cost and no weakness. This is very important when it comes to the Sablezard matchup. If they're waiting their time to drop the Charizard down and you've got a Leafeon, you want to make sure that you can somehow get down to 1 prize card remaining and then slap this onto a Leafeon after maybe they've exhausted their vacuums, and hope and pray that they just can't get rid of the badge to hit you for a 1-hit KO. Permitting if you have full health or not. Alright, and now we'll take a look at the supporters. We're playing 2 copies of Grandma here. Professor's Research, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. We've got a single copy of Gardenia's Vigor, draw 2, and if you drew any cards in this way, you can attach the 2 Grass Energy cards from your hand to your benched Pokemon. And what do you think? We're swinging in with Grass Pokemon there. Playing along with that, we've got 2 copies of Judge for that hand disruption. Judge pairs really well with the Bibarel here, so we can judge down our opponent to 4 and then just play our cards and then draw back up to 5 with the Industrious Incisors. We also have 2 copies of Boss's Orders, rocking those sweet play prize pack promo bosses here. That way, we can flex a little bit. Don't have a lot of full art supporters to spare when it comes to some of these. They can be kind of expensive, so she doesn't play as much, so we put her stuff that she's got into it so far, and we're going from there. But yeah, boss for some gusting, and then continuing on. And more disruption, we do have a copy of Roxanne. If they have 3 prize cards or a few remaining, both players shuffle their hands into the deck. Your opponent gets 2 cards, you get 6. So good disruption. And for a comeback potentially, we have Raihan. If one of your Pokemon got knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you can attach an energy card from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and then search your deck for any card you're missing. So it feels really good. And then the last supporter is a copy of Arven, and this one's pretty important. Search your deck for an item card and a tool card and reveal them. Put them in your hand and then shuffle your deck. So turn 1, this is really good to be able to grab Battle Pass and potentially for Sealstone. If you have access through Ultra Ball to Lumineon for Arven, and then VIP Pass to start setting up your Leafeons or Tarantulas, whatever you're missing from your opening hand, just gives you a little bit more gas. Arven is actually pretty cracked, especially being able to search for the Defiance Band when you need it, or the Snow Leaf badge, also feeling pretty cool. In terms of stadiums, we are playing 2 copies of Temple of Sinnoh and a single copy of Collapsed Stadium. Temple of Sinnoh, when it's in play, all special energy just count as 1 single colorless with no other effects. And then Collapsed Stadium can let you discard a damaged Pokemon, basically, in that situation. Neither player can have more than 4 benched Pokemon. So you have a full bench of 5, and say you have a damaged Leafeon VMAX. You can Collapse Stadium it away, get rid of it, wipe it off the board, and hopefully they don't have to get there in any other means or methods. So good getting rid of things like Drapion or Lumineon if you unfortunately start with them. So good potential plays there. And finally, just some grass energy. A whole 11 copies, 10 copies, I'm tripping. 10 copies of basic grass energy. We don't quite have all the bling in there, so kind of couple mismatched energy until we get a couple more. But 10 copies of grass in there to fulfill the potentially Gardenia and Raihan triggers as well. But this is the list. Again, we were inspired by a friend over on Twitter that played this at one of their league nights, and we went from there and tweaked a couple cards. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. This is the deck that I've been getting the wifey to come and play with a little bit. So hopefully you enjoy this. This is definitely a meme deck Monday, if you want to call it that. There's a deck that you want to see that I have access to. Let me know. I've had a few requests on some of the older videos. Specifically, someone's asked for Ice Rider. I've seen requests for an updated Shadow Rider. I've seen updates requested for Reggie Drago. I'll cover those eventually. Shadow Rider, you can potentially play in a control variant with that Hatterene V. Not the biggest fan of that at the current moment. And then Ice Rider, I'd have to look to Japan to see if there's any success with that whatsoever, but it's not likely. Of course, we need to cover Darkrai again, since it's been a few months since we've talked about Darkrai on the channel. So we'll get there when we get to it. Also, don't forget to drop me a follow over on Twitch. I've been streaming a little bit more. This coming week, I'll be live casting and commentating over a local league challenge at one of our friend stores in the Zone Game. If you guys remember, if you've been with the channel for at least over a year now, you can remember that we would stream those over on Twitch and then chop those up and bring them over here to YouTube for you for casting and commentating live games, and now with challenges and cups in full swing, which is honestly super awesome. This past weekend I've seen so many cool posts from so many people on Twitter and everything. And also, speaking of Twitter, follow me over on Twitter, @Stubin, same thing as everything. Links always is down in the description. For any like randomness I post or whatever. But yeah, that's it. That's the list. Let me know what you think. This is really fun. It's definitely not like super meta. I don't think it's very like top tier competitive. You can definitely sneeze some wins in there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to play stuff like this. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to end the video, and I'm rambling. But happy Monday, Tuesday, whenever you're watching this. Hope you have a great day. Smash that like button. Subscribe for more Pokemon content. I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Peace out.